Taylor Swift is louder than she's ever been, more visible, more talked about, more everywhere. And yet, a growing number of fans feel like they know her less than before. That contradiction is exactly why people are starting to ask an uncomfortable question. What if this era isn't about openness at all? What if it's about control? Because for most of her career, Taylor treated her private life like a locked vault. She skipped interviews, let the music speak, and stayed deliberately distant. Even at the height of her fame, she understood one thing better than anyone else. The less people know, the less they can interfere. But suddenly that rule disappeared. She's on podcasts and interviews, public appearances everywhere, constant chatter about her relationship with Travis Kelce, even casual wedding jokes thrown into conversations like it's no big deal. It's flashy, noisy, and honestly, out of character. Fans noticed immediately. This didn't feel like the quiet, controlled Taylor from before. It felt intentional, almost exaggerated. And once people started questioning why the shift happened, the music started answering back. In "But Daddy, I Love Him," Taylor didn't just sing. She snapped. It was a direct response to fans who had been dissecting her relationships like a group project. People debating who she should date, what was best for her, when she should move on. She called it out head-on, basically saying, "Stop managing my life." But here's the twist. Right after pushing back, she did the exact opposite. Instead of pulling away, she leaned further in. More access, more visibility, more performance. And that's when theories started spiraling. Because this pressure didn't start with Travis, it started earlier, with the relationship that couldn't survive the spotlight. Maddie Healy. On paper, their relationship looked short, almost casual. But fans who've been paying attention know it ran much deeper. Their connection stretched back nearly a decade. Quiet overlaps, subtle support, lyrics that felt like messages rather than coincidences. Two people orbiting each other while living separate lives. It wasn't just romantic, it was creative, emotional. The kind of bond that exists inside shared worlds, not public timelines. And when they finally reconnected publicly, everything collapsed fast. The backlash was brutal. People dug into Maddie's past. Online criticism exploded. The scrutiny became suffocating. Sources say he pulled back, not because the feelings weren't real, but because the pressure was unbearable. And Taylor didn't walk away untouched either. She took heat from her own fan base, stuck in the middle of defending her heart while being judged for it. That breakup wasn't clean. It wasn't simple. It was one of those endings where both people lose something important. Fans saw the cracks in real time, Maddie unraveling on stage. Emotional moments that felt raw, unscripted, uncomfortable. Then came what people now call Benchgate. A moment where timing, optics, and proximity sparked speculation that everything was officially done. And almost immediately after that, Taylor flipped the narrative. She stepped back into the spotlight looking composed, confident, untouchable. And then she appeared with someone no one expected. Travis Kelce. Loud where Maddie was quiet. Confident where past partners stayed reserved. A larger-than-life presence who didn't shrink next to her fame. Their relationship didn't just make headlines, it dominated pop culture. And here's where fans started thinking deeper. This wasn't just a new boyfriend, it was a new strategy. Public affection, stadium appearances, cameras everywhere. A relationship designed to exist in the spotlight instead of being destroyed by it. And it worked. The narrative stabilized. The chaos faded. The focus shifted. But the music didn't fully follow. In Father Figure, listeners expected a song about power and career control. And on the surface, that's exactly what it sounds like. But certain lines felt off. Mentions of protecting family, covering scandals, loyalty fading, pure profit. Those aren't just business words, they're personal. Fans started wondering if Taylor was hinting at how fame, love, and branding melt together when you reach a certain level. When relationships stop being just relationships and start becoming structures that need managing. And that's when the PR whispers resurfaced. Claims about planned optics, carefully timed appearances, narrative pivots that conveniently redirected attention whenever something uncomfortable bubbled up. Nothing proven, nothing confirmed. But the patterns were hard to ignore. Anytime a controversy flared near Travis or his inner circle, headlines shifted. Suddenly he was at her show, smiling, supportive, the perfect image. Just like that, the noise disappeared. Coincidence or control? Fans think father figure might be Taylor quietly reminding everyone who runs the machine. Not just in music, but in image, power, and narrative? A warning wrapped in melody. And while Travis plays out loudly in public, Maddie's presence never fully disappears. It lingers in lyrics, in surprise song choices, in mashups that feel too perfectly timed. Music becomes the place where unresolved emotion can exist safely, without explanation. Two parallel stories running at once. One polished, one private. That's why fans don't think this chapter is over. Documentary rumors, vault tracks, reputation echoes. A future reveal that reframes everything not as drama, but as reclamation. The idea that Taylor isn't reacting anymore. She's planning long-term, letting people watch the performance while she decides what truth to release, and when. Because if there's one thing Taylor Swift has proven over and over again, it's this. She doesn't let the world write her story. She lets it think it has a vote. Right up until she reminds everyone who's holding the pen. And maybe that's the real point of this era. Not love, not strategy, but control. So now the question isn't whether the biggest reveal is coming. It's whether the performance itself was the message all along,